So I'm finally showing myself. So you've decided and you've come to the conclusion that you are a romantic wife, which means that you have decided or have discovered that you love both men and women. The reason I started the term romantic wife is because in our society, in the poly space, as far as with one husband, like as far as polygyny, all you hear is sister wives. Everybody's sister wives, and that's not true. Everybody's not sister wives. There's some women who truly do love both men and women equally, and I felt like there wasn't a space, and I feel like the spaces honestly that I do see for us is just sex and lust, and to me that's like 15%. Like when I think about loving my wife, I don't think like, of course, I would please her sexually, but it's very important to make sure like I care for her. I make sure I get to know the person that she is, know the things that she needs from me, like as a wife, make sure I'm, being supportive and caring and loving and romantic, just doing nice things for her. In our case, our family's going to have more than two wives. So I would have, more than one wife as well. And I think that there's just not that space, just everywhere I look, especially as a woman of color, I don't see where it's not like a wretched fest, where it's not like sex and lust and very scantily clothing and things like that. And that's not what family really is about, like families like ours are very normal families. And I think that it gives families like ours a very bad name because when you think about being a woman that's a romantic wife, now that you understand what that is, when you see how you're portrayed in a very sexy and lustful way, and you're like, wait a minute, no, I'm just a normal person that just wants to have a regular family. I just happen to be dual natured. I happen to love both men and women. And in this channel, I teach one head. So I teach having one husband, and there's multiple romantic wives, and we're all married in a unified marriage. I don't have any issues with like polyandry or different things of poly, but that's not what I teach on my channel. So I teach from a place of one husband and multiple wives, and the wives are also married to each other as well. So I wanted women who seek a marriage like this to have a place to come to of support, to watch me in my day-to-day, just regular day-to-day, whether it be me talk about how we're on the apps and things like that, looking to get to know women, or also just day to day, building a polygamous family, having a polygamous family. The wives are to bear children, so maybe struggles that you're going through as far as pregnancy and things like that, so you'll see me just go like through my day to day, and I just hope to be an inspiration as a woman of color, that families can look very, very normal. We're very educated. We're very intelligent. You're not going to see things about sex and lust. You're going to see things about homesteading. You're going to see things about growing your own ecosystem. You're going to see things about, how the wives should love each other, because, everything we always hear is about sisterhood, sisterhood, sisterhood. Well, we're not sisters. We're wives. Like my husband's not my brother. That's my husband. My wife is not my sister. That's my wife. And they try to force us to be sister wives. I'm like, I am not a sister wife. That's why I came up with romantic wife, so I could differentiate myself, because that just makes me cringe. Like, that's not my sister. Like, I have friends that are women that are like sisters to me, and my wife would never be that. That's somebody I love and cherish, would do anything for. Any wives that come into our family, I would love and cherish and do anything for. And I would never look at her. She's not my sister. She's my spouse. So I really wanted to be able to portray and, let the world see a woman that's actually a romantic wife, but she's intelligent, she's educated. I'm God-fearing. We're actually Hebrew Israelites, so we keep, God first, and you're not going to see sex and scanty outfits. You might, see me in my where I dress very modest and carry myself very modest, and I'm going to talk about scriptures and just things about that, just keeping us very, very grounded in God. Of course, like my channel, anybody can come, that's a romantic wife, or even if you're a man and you're interested in having romantic wives in your family, there's things that you can learn so you can understand what it would be like having wives like that. So you could understand and you could be the best husband to romantic wives that you can be. But yeah, finally revealing myself, and I'm really hoping you enjoy my channel, and I'm gonna post as consistently as I can and just take you through my day to day as we work on building our polygamous family, work on having our child, which we are trying now, and just take you through the day by day, and just really hope that you learn something and you could really, see this portrayed in a positive light, where it's about marriage and it's about family and it's about just really showing you what that entails and how we're just a normal family, nothing razzle dazzle. We're just building a normal loving family. So stay tuned.